Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a tough spot where you had to choose between helping a friend and, well, looking out for yourself? Today, we're going to dive into a simple but really powerful story that gets right to the heart of that question. It's all about what friendship really looks like when things get tough.
You know, we've all heard that old saying, a friend in need is a friend indeed. But what does that actually mean in practice? Well, the story we're looking at today puts that idea to the ultimate test.
Okay, so let's jump in. Our story starts in a village called Hoshiarpur, and it introduces us to two best friends whose entire relationship is about to be put on the line.
And right off the bat, you can see the problem. On one hand, you've got Prem Prachep Singh. He's a hard worker, he's had a great harvest, and things are going pretty well. On the other hand, you have his dear friend Jaswant Singh, who's, well, he's fallen on some seriously hard times.
So, picture this. One day, Jaswant comes to visit Prem Pratap. They're sitting there sharing a lassi, which is a classic sign of friendship and hospitality, and Jaswant asks for something huge. He asks if he can borrow Prem Pratap's only tractor. And boom, with that one question, Prem Pratap is stuck between a rock and a hard place. See, that tractor isn't just a piece of farm equipment. It's his family's lifeline. If he lends it to Jaswant, he could be risking his own harvest. So it's this massive conflict, loyalty to his friend versus responsibility to his family.
Later that night, his wife brings up a super valid point. She says, "You have to sow wheat too. If you give the tractor away, what are we going to do?" She's highlighting the very real stakes here. Being generous is one thing, but this is a huge risk for their own family.
And this really makes you think, right? It's a tough question any of us could face. How do you balance being a good, loyal friend with taking care of your own crucial responsibilities? What would you do?
Prem Pratap is just completely stuck. He's trying to figure out a solution that works for everybody, but he's coming up with nothing. And then the big breakthrough comes from the last place he'd ever expect.
The next morning, his daughter, Rashmi, she's just studying for her exams. And she asks him this simple, totally innocent kid question about her homework. And in that one moment, a light bulb goes off. That little question sparks an absolutely brilliant idea.
Yeah, that simple question she asked about the difference between day and night, it just flips a switch in his mind and changes everything.
And all of a sudden, he sees it. The solution was there the whole time, just hidden in plain sight, inside the full 24 hours of a day. This simple idea blossoms into this really elegant plan, a plan that means both friends could succeed, not just one or the other. The plan itself was just beautiful in its simplicity. They would split the day. Jaswant would get the tractor to work on his fields during the daytime. Then, every evening, he'd bring it back, and Prem Pratap would work on his own fields all through the night. And guess what? It worked perfectly. The result was that both friends had a great harvest. It's such a brilliant example of a true win-win. It proves that helping a friend doesn't have to mean you lose out. They both came out ahead because they worked together.
But the story doesn't stop there. After this amazing success for both of them, we get to the really powerful, heartwarming conclusion that shows what this was all really about.
So after the Baisakhi festival, which is a big celebration for the harvest, a very, very grateful Jaswant goes to thank his friend properly. And he doesn't show up empty-handed. He brings a bag with 10,000 rupees in it, a serious amount of money from his earnings, and he offers it to Prem Pratap as a thank you for using the tractor. But Prem Pratap? He refuses to take it. He just gives his friend a huge hug and says, "What are friends for?" It shows that for him, the real reward wasn't the money at all. It was seeing his friend back on his feet.
So when you boil it all down, this story isn't really about a tractor, is it? It's this incredible lesson in thinking outside the box and having empathy. It reminds us that true friendship isn't about one person sacrificing for another, but about finding creative ways for everyone to win together.
And that leaves us with one last thing to think about in our own lives. When it comes to our own friends, what makes those relationships so valuable? Maybe it's just about finding those moments where you can find a way to share the day and the night